Happy Memorial Day Monday, everybody. This is the Lake Norman Woman Podcast special Memorial Day episode with our guest, Katy Law. Katy and Katie Stankiewicz. We got two Katy squared.
Katie.
Are you
Katie with a Y or an IE?
No, I'm an IE.
She's an IE. You're a Y. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we'll try to keep you guys separate today. We'll do our best. But happy Memorial Day, you guys.
Happy Memorial Day. It's
Absolutely.
a big day.
It is a big day.
It's officially summer.
It is. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Now, in Lake Norman, though, do you guys consider Memorial Day the official start of summer still? I feel like it started like May 1st. It's
I think whenever it gets warm.
Really?
Yeah. When the first day you go out on the lake, it's officially summer.
Now, have y'all gotten in the water yet?
We're allowed to wear white pants before Memorial Day here.
I wear white pants all year long. My grandma's turning over in her grave. Sorry, Mom.
She's like, you can't do that. I said, yes, I can.
I can do whatever I want. Yeah.
I was in a sorority in college, and literally we would get sent to standards if you wore white pants before Memorial Day.
What?
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm glad we don't live by those rules.
We don't live by those. We don't live by those hard and fast rules anymore, Katy Law. So Memorial Day, Katy Stankiewicz, what do you guys usually do?
We always start off with the Memorial Day ceremony in downtown Mooresville. And then people are always invited back to Richard's Coffee Shop. So that's how we start our Memorial Day. And then 9 times out of 10, we'll end up at a cookout and on the lake.
Yeah.
It's really just our friends getting together, being together, really remembering why and how we can be here celebrating.
Absolutely. So my husband and we were so blessed. We moved onto our street. There's several veterans on our street. My husband's a veteran of the Army. And so they started a few years ago, they'll do flag burning on Memorial Day. Nice. And that's so special to watch. It brings a tear to my eyes every single year they do it. But my husband and our neighbors that are veterans on our street and in our neighborhood will go around Cornelius, where we live, collecting old flags. And they'll burn them in the way that you're supposed to burn them. There's a certain way. And I didn't know
the
this.
retirement ceremony.
Right.
Wow.
I didn't know that there was a certain way that was like the official way to burn a flag. So they do the folding, they salute. It is extremely emotional, but it's something I'm so glad that we moved onto our street and become good friends. And now they can all honor their friends and their fellow soldiers that have passed away. So
most people don't know where and how to get rid of flags.
No.
Right.
Properly dispose of flags now. So that's awesome that y'all are doing that in your neighborhood.
And we just started in the neighborhood, and then some neighbors, around Cornelius were like, well, we have flags too. And so and especially other veterans, they really want to respect the flag and dispose of it the right way. And, after a year of it being on your porch and going through storms and snow and whatever else happens, pollen that comes through and the winds and things that come through, they get tattered a little bit. And so you want to dispose of it in the right way. So
that's so moving.
Neat. It is so moving. The first year, our friend Seth is the one that invited us over to do it. And it was just Seth and my husband Rob and his wife Katie, his wife Katie and I, and our kids that were watching. And I was like, this is just so moving, because for us it's moving to watch, but for them they really are giving, a salute to the soldiers that they fought with. And for both of them, Seth and Rob were in the Army during 9/11 and all of that conflict too. So saw some of the worst stuff that's happened, at least in our generation. Yeah. So it's really moving for them to do that and to really honor those guys. And then we all have a drink for the guys who couldn't have one. So that's what comes right after that. Yeah. And then the rest of the day is just pool and lake and just enjoying the outside. So
there's so much to do around Lake Norman
absolutely.
On Memorial Day. Well, I mean, any of the holidays, but really each town has something special that they do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Each one has its own celebration. So, Katie, what are y'all's normal celebrations?
A Memorial Day, that's usually our biggest day of the year. A lot of people have the day off, so they go shopping together.
Yes.
It's a phenomenon that we did not realize happened in our business, but it happens every single year. So usually we're working on Memorial Day.
Yeah, and then you take the Tuesday off, I bet.
But it's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought about that either.
No, I wouldn't have thought about that either.
Funny. Yeah,
and I worked retail too, and that didn't even enter my mind. I always think once I moved here, I just got out of retail work, and so but that was a real reality when I was doing that for sure. Yeah, those holidays are busy days.
They are
for
busy
you guys.
times. So, but we like it. It's fun.
Yeah, and in case you guys don't know, Katie and her husband Greg own Sweet Dreams. We'll get more into your history and everything, but they own Sweet Dreams mattress in Cornelius and Mooresville too, right?
Yes,
both locations. Yeah. So how did you two meet? Because you and I have interacted a couple times, Katy Law, but I think it was Katy Stankiewicz that invited you on the podcast. Yeah.
Through the Exchange Club.
Well, it's actually before that. So when I first moved here in 2003 and I bought my house, I came to y'all's First store.
That was our first store.
And it was you and Greg in the store.
Yes.
And y'all were phenomenal. I'm like, they are the sweetest couple, but like so real, so friendly. And even before we knew each other more through exchange, it was like anyone asked, I said, go to Sweet Dreams. I said, Katie and Greg are phenomenal. And it was just I think I came in to buy a bed or something like that. Yeah. But y'all were just so friendly that I said, they're good people. And so we stay, like, I think all of my houses have been furnished by Sweet Dreams. And then, when we got able to do more through Exchange Club, it's really been a great blossoming to the friendship.
Yep, agreed.
Yeah. It's been fun.
Well, thanks for shopping with us, Katie.
Of course. Yeah. No problem.
Yeah, I think if you ask around town, most people have furnished their homes from Sweet Dreams Mattress. Sweet Dreams. Now, it was mattress and furniture. Now it's furniture and mattress.
Yes. We went through a whole name change last year, which was a really big deal for us. You know, we've carried furniture for a long time, but I think because, we started as really just a mattress store. So Sweet Dreams, you think of sleep. You don't necessarily think of furniture first. So saying Sweet Dreams mattress and furniture, the furniture just kind of falls off a little bit. So people walk into our stores every day and they're like, wow, I had no idea you carried so much furniture. And I'm like, oh, well, it says it in our name,
Right.
So so we decided to switch the mattress and furniture. So now we're Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress. So it's more prominent. And we just did a whole really funny video series around it, making a stupid big deal about a big name change.
Big name change.
Big name change.
Swapping the words. But it is a big deal when you're a business owner, though, to do all of that rebranding and stuff like that. On the internal is a big deal.
It is. There's a lot of things to change that you don't bargain for.
You don't think
never
about.
Think of. Yeah. You're like, oh, shoot, I have to do this.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot, I have to do that.
Yeah. And it's 20 years of thinking of the same cadence of your business name and everything. So...
Yeah. Well, I know you have a lot coming up in the next segment. We're going to get to know you really, really, really well. And I'm so excited about it. But Katie, what do you have going on the farm or events or anything coming up as we're finishing up May and heading into June?
It's really just getting ready for, like you said, May and June and July. And there's so much going on. We have 2 new therapists starting. So I'm super excited about that. Yes. Lindsay Gage will be at the farm on Wednesdays. And she has a beyond passion for horses. She rode at a very high level. So she does a lot with that sports level and that mental capacity level in conjunction with grief and anxiety and depression. But she is phenomenal. She also is a specialist in eating disorders, which is huge now.
Huge, yes.
It's always been, but I think we're talking more about it, just like the stigma of mental health, but that the eating disorder component plays a huge part into it. And so that's really her specialty. So she's going to work with older adults or older teenagers and adults. And then we have Judy Klein that'll start on Tuesdays out at the farm. And again, she works with older teens and adults, and she really wants to focus on the veterans and the first responders. So it's really excited to be expanding the team. Julia's still out on Mondays. She's back from maternity leave, so that's always
she just came back too, didn't she?
Yes, and Boone's her service dog. Okay. He is the actual only trained service dog that we have at the farm. And so he's a blast to have back. It's just, you have that family. And when one of those people are missing for a little while, it seems a little off. So it's great to have her and Boone back.
Absolutely. And we have to also mention that May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Even though we're finishing up the month, we want to make sure that we mention that to you guys too. So have those conversations, seek out the help, go to Willow Equine, go to Soul Connection, and just find those resources that you need.
And there's so many phenomenal resources in our area. We just had the Be Well Mental Health Summit that happened in downtown Mooresville, and that was phenomenal as well. We do so much as a community, and yet there's still so much more to do. And we have to be holding those conversations because they're not hard. And if you walk into a room, everybody's experienced trauma. Everybody has a story. And we need to be able to hold those conversations lightheartedly and then more in depth when needed.
Yeah. And just reminding us too, why May, we did Mothers, Mentors, and Pets because we wanted to be mindful that we also have an article too in our May issue about mental health, about grief and loss, because for so many of us who have lost a parent or don't have a good relationship with one of our parents, that's a real thing that people struggle with. So while all these great celebrations, and we love celebrating moms and the women in our lives, we also want to celebrate those that have been mentors to us and those who are dog moms, whether they choose not to have children or they can't have children, they've had, struggled with infertility for whatever reason. We want to make sure that we lift them up and remember them also too. So
because one of the biggest components of being a mom is being there to support and to encourage and to pick you up when you need held. And that can be almost every woman in different times of that life.
Yeah. And you can have that mothering instinct without being an actual mother too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I love that. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to get to know Katy Law a lot better. Katy with a Y, Katy with an I-E. We got both of them here on the couch. Katy squared today. So we'll be right back with more on the Lake Norman Woman podcast.
Dreaming of starting your own podcast but don't have the space or gear? The WSIC Podcast Studio has everything you need to bring your content to life. With multiple sets that can be tailored to fit your needs, state-of-the-art lighting, and camera equipment, you'll be ready to create high-quality content. Need a photography studio? We've got you covered with our professional cyclorama wall. Bring your own camera and let our expert producers handle it. Email social@WSICnews.com to schedule your tour today. The WSIC Podcast Studio, where your ideas come to life. Looking for deeper self-discovery and emotional growth? Soul to Soul Connection offers supportive space where horses help you understand your inner world in ways traditional talk therapy can't. Our certified professionals guide you through meaningful experiences that foster reflection, healing, and renewed perspective. Best of all, these services are offered at low or no cost for veterans, first responders, and their families. Learn more at healingwithhorseslkn.org and start your journey toward greater well-being today.
Imagine a home where every inch is designed just for you. At The Closet Niche, they create custom solutions based on your specific needs. From closets to build-ins, garages to wall beds, their locally created solutions deliver functionality and elegance. With a lifetime warranty, best price guarantee, and award-winning service, you'll see why they've won Best of the Lake 2 years running. Get your space reimagined. Visit theclosetniche.com today.
Welcome back to the Lake Norman Woman podcast on Memorial Day. And we are here. Look, we're all dressed in blue today, too. We're all patriotic. I love it so much. We're here with Katy Law. She's someone who lives her life with purpose, passion, and a heart for helping others. Katy is a local business leader, community volunteer, and connection maker. Katy and her husband, Greg, own Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress. We learned that in the first segment, where she focuses on merchandising, marketing, purchasing, and as she says, occasionally making a fool of herself in videos. But more than that, her mission is simple and powerful to help as many people as possible achieve their dreams, whether it's her team, her customers, or her community. She's deeply rooted in service and has volunteered with countless organizations, including Call to Care, Dove House, Mooresville Christian Mission, and the Kindness Closet, just to name a few. She's a women's Bible study leader, a Sunday school teacher, and a proud supporter of local schools and first responders. When she's not giving back or working alongside her Sweet Dreams family, you'll find Katy soaking up the sunshine, sipping on wine around a dinner table with friends, or spending time with her family and her dog. Doodle dog?
Yeah, Doodle Dog.
Harvey. Of course, it has to be. What's his name? Harvey?
His name is Harvey.
Harvey. I just took a guess at
Our
that.
whole family's obsessed with him.
Oh, I love a Doodle Dog too. But welcome to the podcast, Katy. Thanks so much for being here today.
Me.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so nice to have you here, get to know you a little bit better. So you moved, you're not a native of this area though, although you've been here long enough, I think, to qualify as one.
I feel like I'm a native because I've been here longer than I grew up somewhere. Yes. Yeah. Moved here in 2002 with my husband.
So what brought you to this area?
So my husband and I started Sweet Dreams right out of college.
Out of college.
We did. We were youngins. And we knew we wanted to open up the business. We came and visited his sister, who had just moved here about 6 months prior. It was Memorial Day weekend.
Yes, okay.
A beautiful weekend. We rented a boat, got on the lake, and we were like,
definitely
we need to move here. This place is amazing.
Yeah.
So we just also thought it was a growing area, a great place to start a business, raise a family, and here we are.
Yeah, it's
almost
great.
23 years later.
And family now. You guys have kids? I know we mentioned the Doodle Dog. I don't think we mentioned kids though. You guys have kids now?
We have 2 kids. I have a almost 19-year-old and a 16-year-old. Wow. So Jonathan just finished up his freshman year in college. And then my daughter is just finishing up her sophomore year in high school.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing. So you're almost heading into that empty nest stage.
I say I'm a 3/4 empty nester because Jonathan's out, Casey's here, but she's like never home.
I will say, how old was she's a sophomore? You
She's
said?
sophomore.
She's
got her
finishing up her sophomore year.
license.
Yeah. Okay. So
Never home.
my daughter just finished her freshman year of college, and I will say I parented her more this first year of college than I did the last 2 years when she started driving. Yeah. She was never home.
Yeah.
She was like a cat. Like she'd show up to eat, she'd take a bunch of food upstairs, and then she'd bring forks down 3 weeks later.
Right. I'm like, good thing I love my husband and love hanging out with him because we spend a lot of time together now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whenever she went off to, she's my only one. So when she first went off to school, I was sad for like maybe 2 weeks. And then one Sunday I woke up and I came downstairs and I was like, it's just us. And like, I don't have to cook for anybody. I don't have to clean for anybody. I don't have to do anybody else's laundry. Like, this is not bad. This is not bad at all. But the same thing.
I'm
good
about
thing
to
we
get
like each other.
laundry back.
Yeah.
Like this summer, I'm like, ooh, I'm going to have to up my laundry game again, get stuff from the refrigerator. Wow.
And go grocery shopping.
Yeah.
That
Oh, yeah,
would be
that's
my
the
hardest
biggest
part is
thing.
like go grocery shopping.
That's really going to be the
hate
biggest
that.
thing. There's no food in our house. Like we just don't. I was like, I don't have to cook anymore. I'm not going to.
So funny story. Greg, my husband, he thought that I really liked grocery shopping just because I do like
grocery shopping. Please tell us the secrets to that, you guys. Let us know.
And so one Sunday he was like, we're just talking about what we're going to do. It was like a beautiful afternoon outside. And he was like, oh, I have an idea. He's like, why don't like Jonathan and I we'll go play golf this afternoon. And then like, you can go grocery shopping. And I was like,
that
sounds horrible. Like, no, I don't want to do that. He's like, oh, I thought you liked it. I'm like, no, I
nobody
don't like
likes
it. I
grocery shopping.
just do it.
I do not enjoy it now, but when I send my husband, who knows what we're going to
Yes.
who knows what we're going to get?
Chips, candy,
Chips,
junk, ice
candy,
cream.
always pickles. He just buys like
gotta
every
have
pickle
pickles.
and pickled jalapeno in the store
like
too.
the vinegar things. That's how
Yep.
Greg is too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then beer, I was like, we don't have anything to drink but beer, and we got pickles. We got
Oh,
more
so you're
pickles.
set.
Yeah, we're good.
Vegetables. You're good.
My husband was a single guy till he was 40, and so he
Yeah.
has he's had to adjust his diet a little bit since we've been married. But we have a good time together. But yes, I don't think any lady likes grocery shopping out there.
No,
I hate it.
No.
So tell us about, how old were you guys when you right out of college? Like 22, 23?
Yeah,
And was it furniture that you always wanted to do, or was that or mattresses? You started with mattresses, right?
Yes, I was one of those people growing up. I never knew what I wanted to do. Like never in college did I ever know what I wanted to do. So it just really worked out well that Greg had this vision. He was managing a mattress store when we were going to school. That's how he paid his way through school. He was also a waiter and a bartender. Like he's very service oriented and he's like entrepreneur mind. So he knew he wanted to open up his own business. Originally was thinking like a restaurant or bar, which we didn't do that.
Oh,
Those are
yeah.
some
That's
crazy hours.
hard.
Yeah.
But when he started managing this mattress store, he loved what he was doing and like loved serving people, but definitely realized there was a void for like service and hospitality in the mattress shopping experience. So that's kind of what how we built our business is just bringing that level of serving and customer experience to the mattress shopping experience. And we just started with mattresses and have really built our furniture business over the years, like probably the past like 15 years really. I've really ramped that up. We have a whole interior design team that we pick styles. We go all to the markets like a couple times a year and, find the different styles that look great in the homes around Lake Norman. So that's fun.
That's cool.
Greg calls it women be shopping. So that's, I like to shop, not the grocery store, but for other things.
Yeah.
So I just get to shop for people all the time. It's fun.
Well, I like
That's
shopping
fun.
with other people's budgets too.
Yes, totally.
Definitely. That's a lot more fun. What was it like, you and your husband starting a business together? Because I can only imagine newly married, right? They always say like, don't take on two big life changes at once, but you guys are married, you moved, and you started a business. Those are 3 huge life changes.
Yeah.
And then you had kids right after that.
Graduated in May, got married in September, moved in October, opened the business in November.
Gosh.
Like those are
That's just a couple things.
couple things that you can only do together when you're young. It's like the blessing of being young is that you don't have, the wisdom and the life experience to know those are hard things to do all together. Now that would totally stress me out. But back then it was just like, man, we had our whole life ahead of us. We were just like starting a business, didn't think there was any way we could fail and just jumped right in with both feet and loved working together. We've always loved working together.
Well, I think that's something special too. When you have that partner that you can work together, you can live together, you can build and dream together.
Yeah.
and have it not be those moments. Like, yeah, there's going to be stress.
Yeah.
But you can talk through it.
Yes. That's a nice part is when we come home, like we understand each other's stress, otherwise he'd be coming home and telling me about his mattress stress. And I'd be like, I can't relate. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Mattresses are so stressful.
Yeah. I think that's really special though, because I love my husband, but I don't even want him to teach me how to play golf. I mean, I'm just like, hey, I need you to leave me alone. This is my circle. That's your circle.
Yeah.
Sometimes they intertwine, but for the most part, let's stay in our bubbles over here.
Yeah.
Because like you said, like I'll come home and I'll cry about a magazine. And he was like, I don't understand why you're crying about a magazine.
Right.
And he was like, what?
You're like, you just don't understand.
What are you talking about? And I was like, you don't understand.
Yeah.
But my husband works on cars. And so same thing. Like, our worlds don't collide that much professionally. But being able to have that support, right, at work and at home too, that's really special.
Yeah.
And then for your kids, what was it like once you started having children then? Did you stay as involved with the business once you guys started having kids?
Yes. Well, yes and no. I mean, I probably went through a period of not being as involved in the business as previously, or I am now that my kids are older. But never like really stepped away from the business either. So yeah. But they just, would come to work sometimes. Yeah, I had them in, like daycare or school and stuff. So they did do that, which especially for my son, I mean, I am like not a very good like planning person. So for him, like he needed a lot of structure and he got some really great structure.
I bet.
Me, I'm like, oh, naps. I don't know. Do they need a nap?
Yeah, you just kind of like running off the fly, but your kids learn that that customer service is so important. I made my daughter work in a restaurant. Yeah. Because I was like, you have to learn how to talk to people, and you have to learn how to talk to people that maybe not be the nicest too.
Oh yes. Yeah. My kids, they really enjoy hearing some of our stories and our struggles at home because like it's helped them kind of understand what they need to do like now that they're in the workforce.
No matter where they go to work, right? No matter what they end up doing, you're going to have to interact. I tell my daughter, she just finished her freshman year of college and she had a roommate situation the first couple of weeks. And I was like, look, at some point in life, you're going to work with or work for or have an employee that you just don't like. Personally, like they may be a great worker, but just your personalities don't jive. They don't mesh for whatever reason. You have to learn how to work with that person. And so whatever that looks like for you, figure out how to meet a common ground and share that space together and work together. So so that's a great lesson that your kids are learning by watching you guys too. So if there's somebody out there who maybe is thinking, oh, Katy Law is living the dream. She's working with her husband, but really, like, what advice would you give a woman who's like, I want to start a business with my husband, whether they're 22 or 42?
Well, what kind of advice I would give is just really to jump in with both feet, like don't be scared and really rely on each other's strengths and weaknesses. I think that's one thing that we have done really well over the years is that we're very aware, like, I know what my strengths are and I know really what my weaknesses are too. And Greg is very complimentary of those things. So I think that's why we've always gelled well together. But also to find mentors to help you. I think because we were so young when we started our business, like one thing is that, we lacked wisdom, right? We made up for that in all the energy and passion and drive in the world, but we really lacked a lot of wisdom. We were young and we've had so many mentors along the way that have really helped us. And to just realize like you don't know everything. And when you realize you don't know everything and you can accept help, I really think that is when you can take it to the next level. So to find people in your industry who have been there before, we're really connected in our industry and we rely on those relationships to learn from and to make us better. So finding mentors, just digging in with both feet, and you're going to make a lot of mistakes. A lot of them, and just figure out how to learn from each and every one of them.
We talk about that a lot here too. Like they're not really mistakes; they're just learning experiences.
They're learning experiences. It's
only a failure if you don't learn from it too.
One thing I also would recommend is something that I wish we would have done earlier in our business is defining our core values. That's one thing that really helped change our business around with our team. And just give everybody like a bigger sense of purpose and figure out, how to make decisions on their own, how to be leaders, is defining our core values, living them, sharing with them, going over them all the time. It's not just a sign on the wall. It is like who we are at our core and how we run our business. And that is something that I wish we would have done sooner, because I think that, if we don't share them with people, they're kind of left up to their own to decide what the core values are. So
Absolutely. And that is a great segue into our break, because when we come back, we're going to ask our 3 favorite questions. And one of those is, what's one of your core values? So we'll be right back, you guys, with more on the Lake Norman Woman podcast.
Ready to create your podcast, video, or photo shoot? The WSIC Studio is your one-stop shop for all your content needs. We offer multiple sets that can be tailored to fit your vision, along with state-of-the-art lighting and camera equipment. Plus, our Cyclorama Photography Studio provides the perfect backdrop for stunning visuals. Bring your own camera or use ours, with expert producers to guide you. Email social@WSIC News today to book a tour. The WSIC Podcast Studios, your content, our expertise.
Are you ready for a fresh approach to healing and personal development? At Willow Equine, our certified professionals offer equine-assisted therapy that harness the powerful connection between horses and humans. We provide counseling, mindfulness, and leadership development tailored to your unique journey. Discover new insights and transform your life through the sensitivity and wisdom of horses. Visit healingwithhorseslkn.org to learn more. Begin your path to well-being today.
Winning Best of the Lake 2 years in a row, The Closet Niche is not only locally owned and operated, but their products are manufactured right here in Lake Norman as well. With a lifetime warranty and best price guaranteed, they deliver stunning, high-quality designs tailored to your specific needs. From closets to pantries, laundry rooms to garages, and more. Their work speaks for itself. Visit theclosetniche.com to get started on your 5-star experience today. Visit theclosetniche.com today.
Welcome back to the Lake Norman Woman podcast on this very special Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day, everyone. Happy
Memorial
official
Day.
kickoff of summer. And we appreciate you being here with us, Katie. So I mentioned a little bit, and Katie Stankiewicz was saying that she pretty much furnished every house she's ever lived in from Sweet Dreams. Yeah.
Every house.
And it's not, the first time I walked into Sweet Dreams, it was because a couple of things. Okay, you guys are very conveniently located. Your Cornelius store is located very close to my house. I'm in downtown Cornelius. But the other thing was I had heard such great things about you guys too. And not just your reviews, but just in the community. And I'd moved from a small condo to a larger house. And as soon as I moved all the furniture into the bigger house, I was like, there's nothing in here. This house is empty. Everything felt short and small. And so I had 2 completely empty rooms upstairs that I needed to furnish. And so I just go over there, and I was thinking mattresses. I was thinking, I need to buy a bed frame and a mattress. And then when I walked in, it wasn't just that you guys had so much more. It was that service, and it was that. So you talked about your core values right before the break. And that is one of our questions, but I do want you to talk about how you train those people, because that is such a testament to what you guys have built there.
Yeah, we have been blessed with the best team in the whole entire world. So that's something that we go over in the interview process with people. We go over on their first day. Like my sister-in-law, Catherine, and Greg, my husband, they have like a welcome breakfast with everybody on their first day, and they go over our core values and our history and everything. And it's like I said, it's not just a sign on our wall. It's like really what we live every day. Every member of our team knows our core values. They live them. That's how, we really have built a culture on our team, because everybody is rowing in the same direction. But on our team, some of them are family, and if they're not family, we just adopt them. I get to work with some of my very best friends.
That's great.
It's awesome. And everybody is full of energy. But, when they're going through the interviewing process, they see our core values. And if they don't align with them, then they may not want the job, or, we
so
don't
that's
hire
part of
them.
your interview process.
Yes.
Is like, these are our core values. I think that's so special to say that. We do something similar to that too when we're interviewing people for the magazine too. Like, this is what we do. This is how we talk about not just ourselves, but our competition,
Yeah.
the businesses we work with, the businesses that choose not to work with us too. This is how we talk about it, because we are all trying to build our business, build our life, build our livelihood, right? And everybody else is trying to do the same too. So we want to make sure that we're uplifting not just the people that work with us or work for us, but everybody who's around us too, especially the women-owned businesses in our community. Yeah.
You have to have that alignment.
You do. You absolutely
And
do.
it's truly, because like you said, if they don't align with it, if they don't believe in it, they can say, oh, yes, I do.
Yeah.
But their actions are going to show different.
Absolutely.
When their words and their actions don't, there's a discrepancy there, that's going to show. And that's what creates the glitches. So to be able to say, no, this is very important.
Yep.
And bring those core values to the surface is valuable.
Yeah. And I mean, that's what we hear it every day. Our people are usually the reason that people shop with us.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're a huge reason. Like, some of it's because they need something, they might need a mattress or furniture or whatever, but usually the reason they choose us is because of our people and how much they care and how much they're putting that customer's needs above their own.
Well, and your hilarious videos on social media.
Y'all are hilarious.
It makes it feel like you know them.
Yes. Yeah.
And you show up at different events and there they are. Like, you literally are. It's like a family. Like you said.
We love including our team like on everything, because a lot of the times, like, they're the people that everybody sees when they walk in the door. It's not necessarily just like Greg and I. It's our whole entire team. So just having the community know them before they even come in, and they're all so fun. Like, I work with like a lot of fun people.
I love that.
We're just a kind of a crazy family.
That's fun. That's fun. I do want to talk about too, being in a leadership position too, and how you kind of train other women to get to that space too. Have you encountered that at all?
Yeah, we do a lot of training. So we're, like I said, we're highly involved in our business or our industry. So we've gotten a lot of training within our industry, but we've worked closely with he's become a good friend of ours. His name is Chris Kuster over the years, and he's really helped us with our leadership and culture training. We've done the Stephen Covey 7 Habits of Highly Effective People together as like a leadership team, men and women together. We have a book club that we started last year. So Greg and I, we've read all these books over the years that really have been the building blocks of how we started our business, but to get all of our team reading these books too, has really been, I just feel like it's actually like brought everybody together even more. Like, it's so purposeful. So we're constantly investing in our people. Like, last week we actually closed our business for a day, like all 4 locations we closed for a day. We brought in a trainer from our industry, and he came, we went to the Kane Center, and we did a whole like team training, leadership training with our team for the whole day. So really like investing in our people and making sure that, equipping them to be leaders.
Yeah, that's so important too, because it's not just about you getting to that leadership position. It's training other people underneath you, right? Bringing them up to that space as well.
Yeah, we actually just had a review with one of our team members this morning, one of the girl who runs our Mooresville store. And she was talking about like worried about, because she's like our main trainer, and her husband actually recently came on with us, and they work together and they manage our Mooresville store together. And he is an excellent trainer as well. So she onboards everybody that comes on board, and he's kind of like helping a little bit now too. And she was just like, oh, well, I hope it's okay that like I'm not always the person that's doing this. Like, Sean's doing it sometimes too. And I'm like, man, that's the dream, right? Is to
have the best people that can train the next people to be the best.
Exactly.
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
Create a team of leaders where everybody's like stepping up and building each other up and training each other and helping. That's Greg and I's dream, is to really just build our team, build a team of leaders, serve our community.
Absolutely. I love that. All
Do
right.
it. You guys are doing it.
You're doing it.
every
You
day.
absolutely are doing it. Yeah. So we're going to ask you our 3 favorite questions.
Okay.
Number 1, what's your favorite thing about Lake Norman?
I'm probably like Lake Norman's biggest fan.
Yeah,
I just love living here.
Katie. We have not talked. I think I might beat you in that contest.
Absolutely
but
love.
I'll take you on.
Where I live.
Yeah.
But I think my favorite thing about Lake Norman is just the people. I tell people all the time, like, we have like the highest concentration of just like good people in this area.
Absolutely.
Like authentically kind and generous people. You know, a lot of times we are some of the first people to welcome somebody to our area. They're like riding in on hot with their U-Haul from Ohio,
Right.
you know, and needs
Right.
to sleep on
Mattress,
tonight.
yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, we visited here. Everybody was so nice. Like, what the heck? And I'm like, listen, you move here and you think there's no way people can actually be
actually
this
that nice. Yeah.
But I've lived here for almost 23 years now, and I can tell you, like, that's just how it is.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's why I
And
love
that's really our number one answer that we get here on the
Yeah.
podcast. Yeah. When we ask that question, it is the people. That's what I think people come here for, the lake and for the lifestyle and
Yeah.
stuff like that, because we live in like a vacation town, really.
Right.
But then they stay because the people, you know, and the people, and then the business owners, and even my daughter, when she was on the podcast, she said her favorite thing was the small business community. And I was like, that was so cute. Yeah. She probably hears me say it in my sleep, but it's so true. It's that we all want to see each other succeed. And like when we talk about core values, that's one of ours with the magazine. We all want to see each other succeed. And when they win, we win. And it's win-win-win is what we call it. You know, the 3 wins.
Absolutely.
Because they succeed, their business succeeds, and we all succeed together. And so it's that beautiful win-win-win.
We have the best community.
We really do.
Yeah,
we really
we
do.
do.
And not just the individual towns, but the Lake Norman as a whole.
As a whole, I agree.
Absolutely. Okay. What is one of the best pieces of advice you've ever received?
Oh man, you know, I love getting advice. I kind of like really live for advice. It's just really inspiring to me. But probably the best piece of advice I've received that is very life applicable is from Stephen Covey. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is to schedule your priorities. Don't prioritize your schedule.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay.
That one.
Because
that one hits.
that has been honestly life-changing for me. I am like innately not a planner. I'm like kind of like a winging it type of person. So for a long time, like my schedule ruled me, and I just, you know, flew by the seat of my pants. But you realize the importance of figuring out what your priorities are in life, both professionally and personally, and you put those things first. You put those things on your calendar first. You put the big projects that you need to do, like your processes, like your daily habits that you do to really succeed. Those go first, and then everything else falls in line around it.
And they don't change.
No.
Because I think that's one of the things is like, I'll pencil something. Well, everyone will laugh because I still have
You do an actual
I have the
calendar.
old
I know.
school,
Oh,
like,
I don't
have
know
a
how you do
calendar.
it.
I
Yes,
have a
I
plum
could never.
paper calendar still that is like the holy grail. And then it all goes digitally, of course. But like it's there, and it's like everything's written in pen. But then if something's like serious, it's like, this is Sharpie.
Yeah.
This is not changing. And so easy, you can be just like, oh, well, I'll cross it out, or I'll do this, or I'll do that. And it's like, no, this is important. Time with Natalie, or going horseback riding, or the business planning. You know, those things, whether it's like you said, personal or professional.
Yeah.
Those have to be set in stone.
Would agree. And I'm such a yes person that I like just tend to say yes to everything. But this kind of allows me to like say no sometimes.
Yep.
And you're like, if you say yes to too many things, then when those priorities come, you're like, oh shoot, I have this on the calendar already, but that's not really important. Like, this is more important. So really just scheduling what is important first.
What do they say? The saying, when you say no, it's allowing you to say yes to something that really matters.
Oh, I like that. The other one I've heard too is when you're more likely to break a promise to yourself than you are to somebody else.
Wholeheartedly.
And so,
worst promise breaker to
I
myself.
break promises to myself all the time. So remembering to keep it, like if you would like, I would never say to Katie, no, I can't go to lunch, but I would say to myself, no, you can't eat today.
Yeah.
You know? And so being able to keep those promises to yourself and making those as important as the ones that you make to other people too. Yeah, I think that's really cool. All right, and core values too. So what's one of your core values?
Well, our core values, like there's just not one that stands alone. So we have an acronym called DREAMS.
I know, I love it.
Yeah.
I love
I've
it.
not heard this before. I'm excited to learn about it.
Yeah, so D is dedicated to God and the greater good. R, responsibility. E, energy, effort, and excellence. A, all about the team. M, measured growth and partnerships. And S, service above self. So those all kind of like work together. Not really one is more important than the other. They just all that's who we are.
And that's like who you and Greg are too. That's not just how you run the business, but that's how you are personally as well.
Yes. So our kids know these core values as well. But we also have a mantra. Our mantra in life is, this is all same, like personally and professionally, is work hard, play hard, serve others, and grow. So that's kind of what we live by. It's a shorter version of our core values. I love that though.
I think that's great. It's work hard, play hard, serve others, and grow. Yeah, that's what life is all about, right?
But if you think about like we've said multiple times, I think in this whole series, is it's that personal and professional.
Yeah.
If you think about it, there should not be a separation because you're showing up as you are.
Yes.
Like who you find me at the farm is the same person you're going to have me on the couch, the same person you have me at home. There shouldn't be that separation because then that's you showing up authentically.
I love that.
That's mine. In like first or second episode, I said mine is like to be the person I am when I wake up is the same person I am when my head hits the pillow at night. And that was something my dad always said to me, like, when you know that you can live with yourself all day long.
Yes.
Yeah. And so that's what I strive to do every day, even when I have to use my TV voice sometimes. But yeah, thank you so much, Katie, for joining us today.
Yes, thank you all.
Okay.
Great.
If people want to experience the great service at Sweet Dreams Mattress, Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress, Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress.
Isn't it funny? Even in the community, we still say Sweet Dream Mattress.
Yeah, I know. It takes us well. That's like Norman, though. We don't like change.
No, we don't like change here. Yeah.
We don't like change.
I do love the new black and white logo, though. Yeah. I will say that.
Ooh, it's fun.
I love it. Yeah. Because the outlet store is right near the farm, so I pass it every day, and I'm like, I just love that. It's so sharp.
If anybody wants a good chuckle, drive by our East Mooresville store. It used to be the outlet. Now it's formerly known as the outlet. We're making all these changes.
We're making all kinds of changes.
Yeah. We're making it prettier now.
Well, if people want to find you, where can they find you?
Yeah, so we have a really funny sign that always gets changed out there at the corner. Yeah, so if you need a little chuckle, just drive by that store. It's on the corner of Statesville Highway and 150 in Mooresville.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then where are your other locations?
We've got 2 in Mooresville, 1 in Denver, 1 in Cornelius. Online, www.shopsweetdreams.com.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Well, Katie, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you.
Katie Stakowitz, thanks again for a great episode. Happy Memorial Day, everyone. Enjoy the summer. We're so glad it's here. It's our favorite time to be here on the lake.
We might have to do an episode by the lake.
Well, we still have to do our wine episode too.
We do. We have a lot of episodes.
Yeah, we'll bring you back for that one, Katie. Our after hours episode. Yeah, we spill all the dirt,
all the tea.
There's really not that much.
No,
but we'll just add wine to our regular conversation. It just makes it more fun. All right, guys. We'll see you guys next week on the Lake Norman Warren podcast.
Have a great week.